r/ask Reddit. What are some things you should cheap out on? Common OTC meds. The generic versions are usually half the cost and contain the exact same active ingredients. Farm tech here. Generics have to maintain a very narrow bioequivalency standard in comparison to brand name meds. The drug chemical itself is to be the same and prove its therapeutic effectiveness is no different than brand name. Generics all the way. Edit. Wanted to address a few things. As stated, I am a pharmacy technician, not a pharmacist. I would be happy to suggest anyone with specific medicine related questions to please direct them to their doctor/pharmacist. I am not qualified to answer those sorts of questions. And as much as I would love to help you, I'm only just starting the application process to pharmacy school. With generics as well as brands, your mileage may vary depending on you as an individual. These statements apply in a general sense, and as every individual is unique, they may not apply to you, your mom, cousin, spouse, friend, etc. I may have answered your question already in the comments below. Please read them prior to asking me. I was not expecting an exploding inbox. Haha. Clothing for your infant children. My son grows out of his stuff so fast it seems he wears some outfits only once. Wrap in paper towels. Got it. Never clothe them. Got it. Go on Craigslist. I bought trash bags for $20 each full of clothes. That's awesome. You have something for your child to wear, and there's clothes as a bonus. Plants. If you enjoy gardening, ask your neighbors if they have any plants that are growing too enthusiastically that you can have a bit of. You know already that they love the local soil climate and won't be spending a fortune on plants that refuse to thrive. What a lovely recommendation. With that comment, I can't help feel you're a 30-40-year-old woman who likes to garden. I was going to reply hahaha I'm only 27 until I realized that's basically 30. I'm old and I don't garden. Yet. Subscribing to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime is much cheaper than getting basic cable. Plus you get content you see from the premium channel. I wish my parents would make the switch from their $80 month cable subscription to Netflix, but no, Netflix is too expensive. Netflix will cost $100 a year maybe? That's what I try telling them, but they're afraid it's some giant scam. Lamborghinis. Why spend $500,000 on a Lamborghini Aventador when you can get a 2014 Lamborghini Gallardo for less than $200k? People are still going to swoon over your car. 99.9% of the people who see it won't be able to tell the difference, and those who can probably have one of their own. People buy the newest model to impress their rich friends, not the poor plebs who are gawking at them. The man has a point. School supplies. You're gonna lose or break the nicer stuff anyway. Ticonderoga pencils. Nope. Mirado Black Warriors is where it's at. Once you go black you never go back. I've used both and I consider myself a die-hard Ticonderoga user. Black Warriors erasers are simply not as good as a Ticonderoga. Yes, the wood is harder and the graphite is stiffer, but Ticonderogas are just better all around. But if someone took a Black Warrior and put in a Ticonderoga eraser, then they would certainly be onto something. I find that expensive indestructible dog toys generally last as long as cheap ones. Not so with tennis balls. The PetSmart brand ones are destroyed in seconds, while Tough Made or Tough Built or whatever last forever. I usually get my dog racket balls. They're super durable and she always rips all the fuzz off anyway. Saves me the mess. That's genius. I can't believe I never thought of that. Yellow mustard, not ketchup. Must be Heinz. Cheap out by not buying it. Spicy brown. Only way to go. Different foods call for different mustards. If I'm eating a ham sandwich, brown mustard is good. If I'm eating a bologna sandwich, yellow mustard is more suitable than brown. I agree. All mustard tastes the same. Non-Heinz ketchup tastes like diluted tomato sauce. Marriage. We were both 35, had been living together for 8 years, and had a child. We didn't need a wedding. We paid $55 for the license and $100 for the person to do the legally required ceremony. We had a few friends and family there, but that was it. After throwing away $35,000, I envy you. If you're at Costco, anything Kirkland. I trust any brand that makes jeans and pizza. And they do both pretty well. Cleaning supplies. I'd rather get bleach and such from the dollar store rather than pay triple that at a grocery store. For the most part, this is true, but some bargain glass cleaners are terrible. Windex isn't that expensive, so I usually buy the real thing. Oh man. The dollar store by me has this great multi-purpose cleaner that is good for cleaning up messes in the house as well as getting gunk off of the rims on your car. Magic erasers. Go on Amazon and buy 90mm foam pads for $7. If you're making a new computer, you can really cheap out on the optical drive. You will maybe use it 5 times, and by the time you need to replace it, if at all, you might not even need one anymore. On this note, even the highest rated optical drives are still only $15.20 on sites like Newegg. However, never ever cheap out on your SOE. Some groceries. Go for the no-name brand. Same thing. Except Pop-Tarts, man. Trust me. Cable. Because HBO's new app. I often try to buy refurbished electronics. For something I want. I look at the refurb process as being one more level of product testing. This is good advice for cars, although not for buying a rebuild. I mean, I've owned brand new cars, and things break or come broken from the factory. If you buy a car that's 1 year old, someone else has driven out the kinks for you. It makes more sense to have someone else deal with the headaches, and you save the depreciation. That being said, buying newer cars is a bad idea entirely, but some people can't be talked out of it. Kitchen appliances and bakeware. If you're share housing, if you buy a $100 kettle or a $10 kettle, someone will find a way to break either one just as easily. I disagree with this one. When I was a student and was sharing a house, we pooled the cash for a cheap ass microwave that lasted maybe a week. Obviously don't go all out on the most expensive stuff out there, but the bargain basement tier is not worth it, emo. Gotta disagree. I bought a $10 pan and the Teflon is coming off and it's warped because my roommates don't know how to set the heat on a gas stove. My old iron skillet is still as good as the day it was made. Wine. Not to a ridiculous level, but there are a gazillion studies which show that even professional sommeliers cannot distinguish cheap wine from very expensive wine. Art supplies. You aren't that good yet to it to make a difference, and it's more important that you do a large amount of work to improve. I've seen more impressive things done with simple standard HB pencils, crayons and newsprint than expensive supplies. This heavily depends on the type of art. I do a lot of art, and when I try for new styles and mediums, I do my best to get at least mid-quality brands. I went for Hobby Lobby's in-house pastel once and hated those pieces of shit. They were almost unusable. A few months later I decided to shell out and get some of the mid-high priced ones. Can't remember the name at the moment. Sorry. And it made one hell of a difference. Pastels still aren't my cup of tea, but the difference was pretty big. College textbooks. Nothing worse than paying $150 plus for each damn textbook. It's totally illegal and I'd never suggest this, but some textbooks have PDF and EPUB versions that can be pirated. Combined with a cheap Android tablet, you have every textbook you'd ever need. I'd never suggest doing this and saving hundreds of dollars, though. HDMI cables don't really get better as they get more expensive, unless you care about those that are 50m long. Don't bother getting expensive ones. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.